Hello, everyone. Welcome once again to my YouTube channel. How are you doing? I hope you're enjoying your weekend. This is my first video in 2026, so I'll say Happy New Year, everyone. As you all know, my name is Benga Adeyemo. I'm a Microsoft MVP, a Microsoft certified trainer. I also love sharing content about Power BI and expect more content this year also about Azure and also Microsoft Fabric, more and more content, right? And today I'm talking about something very interesting, which is Power BI app. Now, we all build reports, we build dashboards, right? And we want to ensure there's no data leakage, security. We want to build our Power BI solution like as if we are building a product. Because in the real sense, Power BI solutions are products, right? But you want that product-like nature. You want your users to have good user experience interacting with the report. You also want to ensure that people are not going to the workspace and they are not messing up your workspace by accidentally deleting stuff like any item on your workspace. You want to ensure that there is no accident happening, your workspace is secured. And the good thing is that with Power BI app, you don't even need to give your users access to the entire workspace. I know that some of you might say, oh, if I give them viewer access, they'll probably not be able to do anything, just view. But don't forget that it's not all reports that we are going to also share that even want people to see, even in a workspace. Because if I'm in if I publish a report, a sales report inside the same workspace, I publish a finance report inside the same workspace. I don't want people in sales to see reports that relates to finance. I don't want people in finance to see reports that relates to sales. Now, I know you might say, yes, there's item level permission now. I mean, Fabric, Post Fabric has brought about item level permissions. And but even with item level permissions, you don't want your users, having that access at all to a workspace. So, what's the best way? Is Power BI app. So, we are going to look at the pre-Fabric era and also the post-Fabric era and how Power BI app is still very, very relevant, right? So I'm going to be sharing my screen now. I have a little slide for you just to explain, then we go into the demo. So I'm going to share my screen right away. Now, what is Power BI app? What is Power BI? Interesting. Power BI app is a packaged, read-only way to distribute reports and dashboard. Mark that word, read-only way. It is built from a workspace and published for users to consume. It means that you build a Power BI app from a workspace, right? Now, users access one clean, organized entry point instead of multiple report link. It means that if you have multiple reports in a workspace, for example, what we are saying here is that instead of you sharing individual reports, in the individual reports, we have different links because they are different reports. So imagine you having 10, 15 reports in a workspace, and you instead of you having to do item level sharing, that means you are sharing one link to another, link one, link two, link three, link four to link 10. I mean, why not put all the Power BI reports inside one app and you now create what we call audiences? And I'm going to show you how to create those audiences. You create the audience. So, for example, maybe there's a report that only the CEO can see or the CEO is supposed to see, and every other person does not need to see that report. But if you give them the viewer access, which is even the least privileged access in a workspace, they will still be able to view that CEO's report, and they are not meant to. It's a high-level confidential report. So the Power BI app, I'm telling you that's why it's relevant. Now, it means that you bring all the report in a particular place. People have the same link, but they see different reports. They don't see the same reports. And that's where the concept of audience comes in. Now I'm going to, did I say audiences? Oh my God, what a bad English. Audience, I mean. Okay. Apps are designed for business consumption, not development. So it means that when you are developing, so a Power BI app is like a finished product. It means that users don't need to see how you're developing stuff. I mean, it's still in progress, 80% done. You're designing a report and it's not yet complete. They don't need to see all that. All they see is the finished product with a Power BI app. They see finished product. Now, let's go. Now, why Power BI app still matter? Now, let's look at pre-Fabric era and post-Fabric era. Now, before Fabric, apps were the safest way to share content at scale. They prevented users from editing reports and seeing unfinished work. That's before the advent of Microsoft Fabric. Now, after Fabric, that's the post-Fabric era. Item level sharing added flexibility for creators. right? Now, but Power BI apps still remain the best option for structured professional consumption, right? Fabric enhanced collaboration, not the need for curated delivery per se. So the way we think about this, right, is in depth in a way. So let me put my words like this. So what I mean is that in a normal sense, if you have a deployment pipeline, for example, let's just say, an example, you have a deployment pipeline, there might not be any need for your users in the first place for them to even have access to the development workspace, right? That's where you are creating the stuff before pushing to production workspace. Now, that one aside, that's like a standard way of doing things. Now, but what we are saying is that let's assume that you only have one workspace and that's where everybody consumes from. And it's an assumption. That's not the ideal way, though. You don't want users to see, even though they have view, even though you can think of viewer access, you can think of item level sharing, but at the same time, you don't want them to see anything. You don't want them to even see the workspace at all. You don't want them to have access to anything. It's just the reports. They have no business with the warehouse, the lake house, all of those things. Now, let's even see how this Power BI app even relates to item level sharing. Okay, so what I said earlier, item level sharing is good, but it's flexible for creators, right? Item level sharing is wonderful. It does a good work, but for structured way of sharing reports and for a structured way of consumers, which is the users consuming the report, Power BI app is still the best. It's still the best option. I'm not saying it's better than item level sharing, but I want you to understand the concept, the context very well. Item level sharing is good, but what we are saying is that this is more professional and more structured. And it's like you are creating different reports into one particular place. And everybody can consume that from that one place. And even though it's just one place, but they are not still going to be able to see the same thing because of the level of access you want to give each person. Now, let's even look at how this even relates to role level security. Now, role level security controls what a user can see, right? Now, apps does not replace RLS, right? They respect RLS, right? Like, respect. Now, each user can see the roles they are allowed to see in a role level security role. Now, when you create different reports in a workspace, you publish, and the reports have RLS configured in them. Your app does not replace RLS. It still respects your whatever role, whatever RLS role that you have created, it still respects it. So don't mix them up together, right? Power BI app is just for creating different reports in a particular place, right? So RLS plus app will now give you a secure and a scalable distribution of reports, right? So I've come to the end of my slide. Let's now go into the demo. So if you look at this workspace that I have on my screen, I have 3 reports. Now you will see finance reports, you will see logistics reports, and you will see sales reports. Now, these are the 3 reports that we have. I can decide because my workspace is Fabric workspace. You see that it's a Fabric workspace, Fabric content. See the logo. Now, I have 3 reports. Now, this report, you see that this report is only for the CEO, sales, logistics, and finance. This report, only the CEO can see it. Nobody else can should see that report. If I do item level sharing, I can do that from here. Can't remember sincerely for now. Can't remember where I do that for now, but I can share this report, right? But now the issue is that I have to keep, if I have 15, 20 reports in this, what's it called? In this workspace, it means that I have to be sharing them. Like I have to be sharing them one by one. I don't want to do that, right? I don't want to do that. So I want to have one link. Everybody sees it. So don't talk too much. So I'm going to click on create app on this part here. You see create app, right? And I will call this my app, test app. I will just call it test app. And I'll put a description. This app is for test purpose. It's not a production one anyway. It's for test purpose. You can give it a theme color. I like blue. Blue is nice. Contact information. Show app publisher. Show item contacts from the workspace. right? Show specific individual groups. I just put it at show. Now you see some advanced settings in this side. Show co-pilots on the app navigation. You can turn that on if you want to use co-pilots in the app. Expand navigation panel by default. You can also collapse by default, right? So I can click on collapse by default. Access to hidden content. So turn on this setting if you want to grant access to content, even if it's hidden from navigation. That's it. I don't advise you switch that on though. Depends on the requirements and your context. But it means that even if you hide something, somebody can see it. I mean, you don't want to do that anyway. And install this app automatically, allow users to make a copy. Just leave all those ones for now. Now let's go to the next section here. The add content. This way you're not going to add content. You can add content from here. You can add content from here, right? So let's click on add content. And we have 3 reports. I told you, right? One is for the CEO, one for sales, and one for finance. I'm going to click on add. I'm going to click on add. Now, when I click on add, this is the interesting part of it. So I've added all the reports in that workspace now. I've added them to this, the contents of this app, all the 3 reports from that workspace. The next thing I'm going to do is go to audience. It's to go to audience. Now, when I go to audience, what do I see? I see the test app itself, and I see a place here called new audience. I'm going to click on this new audience, and I can double click and rename this as CEO only. CEO only, right? Oh, seems like it does not allow space or something. But what's going on here? Okay, let me just do an underscore there. CEO only, and I click on CEO only, right? Now, CEO can see all the reports. Interesting. CEO can see what? All the reports. So on this audience part here, I'll create one audience for CEO. I'll come to this place and add only the CEO's email to this part. Now, it's something that you need to know. Anybody that you had at the workspace level, they will be able to see the app. They'll be able to see the app. Like they'll be able to access it. So I will not advise you adding anybody at the workspace level, unless creators, developers like you that are creating stuff. Don't add people to a workspace in this scenario, right? So you see, you can see the 3. I'll create a new audience. I'll call this one just finance. I'll create a new audience. I'll call this one finance. Then, because it's finance, right, I will hide the CEO's report and I will hide the sales report. It means that anybody in finance that I give access to this audience inside of this app, they will be able to only, when they open the app, they will only have access to these finance reports. By the time I publish this app, they will not have access to the CEO's reports and also the sales reports. I'm going to also create another new audience. And this new audience, I'm going to call this one sales, right? And I'm going to hide the finance report, and I'm going to hide the CEO's reports. Now, interesting, guys. So they will only be able to see only the CEO, the sales reports. They will not see the CEO report, they will not see the finance report, right? So when they try and click itself, maybe what they will just see is this. The audience does not have access to these contents. You see that this is very interesting, simple, scalable, right? Now, we are done now with this, right? And then I can publish. I'm still coming back, right, to do something. So I'll click on publish. I will click on publish. I'm going to click on publish here. I'm going to be clicking on publish here. Now, I can now share this link with them, right? I can share this link with them. I send it to maybe like a Microsoft Teams, or so I send a general email. With just this link, everybody will be able to access the app. But the difference is that when they open the app, they will only be able to see the audience that they are added to. So if you are not in the finance audience, you will not see the finance or the reports under the finance audience. If you are not the CEO, you will not be able to see all the reports that the CEO can see, right? So this is a more structured, scalable way that users can consume a report. And for the fact that item level sharing now exists post Fabric does not mean that Power BI app is not irrelevant. Power BI app is still very, very relevant, right? So I can now click on Go to App. I can click on Go to App, and I will see what the app looks like. Because I'm the creator of the app anyway, that's why I can probably see everything, right? See, I can see everything because I'm the creator of the app. So this is the default one. Now let's go to the CEO only. So I can see everything because I'm the, I'm the creator. I'm the one that created it, right? So CEO can see everything. Look at finance. The finance guy can see everything. No, sorry, can see only finance. Sorry, you can see only finance, right? Okay, let's go to sales. The salesperson can only see the sales reports. Makes sense, guys. So I'm going to do something now. I'm going to edit the app. I have another Fabric account, and I'm going to add that Fabric account under each one so that we can now see how this works, right? We can see how it works. So I'm going to stop sharing this screen and share my other screen. So what I'm going to do now is that, let me stop sharing this screen, and I'm now going to share. Oh, before I do that, sorry. Before I do that, another thing I need to explain to you guys. So let me come to the content now. Let me go to audience rather, and let me go to finance. And I'm not going to add another of my Fabric accounts to this. The second Fabric account, I'm going to add this guy, right? And I'm going to update the app. So anytime you make changes on the app, you have to update the app, right? Now, another good thing about app, sorry, so I won't forget that part. You can add external users. It's called B2B sharing. It means that people that are outside of the tenants of your Fabric Power BI tenants, you can add external users, right? You can add external. That's another good thing about app, right? You can grant external users. We call it B2B sharing in Azure. Is it Entra ID or Active Directory? I can't remember the exact name. Yeah. So you click on Updates app. And I click on Updates, right? Now I'm not going to I'm going to stop sharing here now and share my second screen. Okay, so this is the Fabric account I added to the finance, what's it called? To the finance audience. So I'm going to go to, let me refresh this page. Let me refresh this page. Refresh, right? Okay, and I'm going to go to, that should be where, okay, I think I have a notification here. Okay, that's like a formal notification. So I'm going to come to three dots here, and I will see apps, right? I'll click on apps here on this part. I will allow this page to, I don't know, is it loading or is it not loading? What exactly is going on here? Okay, I think it says it will take me a few minutes for me to be able to see. Okay, let me go to my other, what's it called, and make sure that I have given access to this app, to that email. Okay, let me refresh again. I mean, by now, it should have the access now. Okay, let me edit the app again and just make sure that this guy has access. Let me go to my audience. Sorry, guys, you might not be able to see that screen. But yes, I have this guy there. So how do I ensure that he has the, yeah, it's by going to apps, right? Yeah. I need to go to get apps. No, that is for, yeah, I think I see it now. Yeah, I think I see it now. Okay, so I'll click on get it now. This is the first time you've opened this app. Try to refresh this page. If the issue persists, contact the owner. I'll click on close. So I think you have to click on that get app. Yeah, in case you didn't get any notification, right? Let's just leave this to loading the report. I don't know why it's this slow anyway. Maybe, I don't know. Let me probably refresh the page again. It should not take this long. Okay, guys, let's just wait while this is loading. I mean, there's nothing we can do about it. So you will see that it's only showing finance reports. If you even look at, yeah, you see the name of the app, the contact person, And it's even true because the finance audience is only finance reports that is inside the finance audience. So if I switch this guy now and remove this guy from the finance audience and change it to sales, when he opens the app, when he click on get app and open the app, he will be able to only see the sales reports because it's inside the sales audience. And what we have in the sales audience is only the sales reports. So that's just exactly how this works. I hope you have learned something new today for those that are completely new to this, or it's a refresher for those that have used this Power BI app in a very long time. So, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to share this video, subscribe to my YouTube. You've been enjoying the content, right? Subscribe, 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 subscribe. Share, subscribe. I mean, share it in your community. Share with your friends. Let them learn. Let's make Power BI interesting to all of us. And please, I want this channel to 1,000 subscribers. So, guys, please, 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 please subscribe to this channel. Let's spread the word of Power BI. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful night. Whether you're in the afternoon, enjoy your day. Whether you're in the morning, good morning. Just enjoy your weekend. Just enjoy your weekend. Bye, guys. I'll see you again in my next video. Bye for now.